Hello again, it's review day on GotAUkulele, slightly delayed. This being the summary video review for the full review linked below. Thanks also again to my patrons who help keep this site going. GotAUkulele is not sponsored or paid for by any of these brands. It can't be because the reviews wouldn't be impartial. They would be paid for product placement. That's not how this works. So my supporters really do help keep it going. Anyway, a welcome return for this brand. Everyone knows this brand, probably the biggest, perhaps most well-known ukulele, consumer ukulele brand in the world. It's Kala, and this one is the Kala KA-EBY-T striped mahogany tenor ukulele, and it's incredibly pretty, isn't it? It forms part of their, it's a laminate instrument, and it forms part of a series of theirs that are made out of laminate that go big on the looks. I'm not down on laminates, as my readers will know, if it's good laminate, and Kala make good laminates, so it doesn't scare me at all. You may have seen their Bakote or the Zirakote that I reviewed. Really stunning looking instruments, and that's what this is. This is striped Indonesian mahogany facing on the outer of the laminate, and it is really beautiful. Ebony is a really interesting wood. I mean, you sometimes see it on backs of sides of instruments because it's very heavy, not on tops, because if you made a ukulele out of all solid mahogany, it'd be like a boat anchor. So they can get away with the veneer on the outside because this isn't a heavy instrument, and it is stripy and pretty. Now, I've dissed stripy instruments before, but in particular I was talking about zebra wood, which is just so ubiquitous and I think ugly looking. This looks like chocolate, hot chocolate dripping down a wall or something. It's beautiful. Two pieces on the top, two pieces on the side with that joint piece, and two pieces on the back. And it's really pretty. The whole body is finished in an open pore satin. I think that's where it suffers compared to the Zirakote I looked at, which was all gloss, because that gloss really made that wood zing and pop. I think a full gloss on this would really bring this out. That's not to say it's ugly. I just think a gloss would be better. The decoration is considered and subtle. That is maple edge binding on the top and back, and you also get on the top black and white purfling strip and a maple inlay around the sound hole ring. That's nice. The bridge, very standard tie bar style, made of walnut. I think they've changed to walnut because of CITES. They used to be rosewood. It needs to be stained darker. I think it would look better if it was darker against the dark body. I think it looks a bit pale. That's fitted with a Graphtec straight top saddle, which is nice to see. I looked inside this one, really tidy, notched linings, very thin bracing. The top laminate does look a little bit thick, but being a bigger body, that's less of a concern for me. But it's all full marks down here, really. The neck, I think, is mahogany. It's stained very dark. I can just about make out a joint at the heel and one at the headstock. And it's a satin sort of open pore again, so it's not grippy. And I like the look of that a lot. I think it works well with the body. What I don't like so much, typical Kala Chinese profile, rounded back, 34.5 width at the nut, which is a bit narrow for me for a tenor, and about 27 from G to A. Well, it is a bit narrow for me. Not unplayable, but I'd like them wider. That's topped with a walnut fingerboard. Again, could do with being darker. I think it looks too pale. It stands out particularly against the dark of the headstock, as you can see. Much prefer that to be ebony as well. But cost comes into it, of course. It feels slightly edge rolled as well, really comfortable. The edges are bound dark, so you hide the frets, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to the body, 15, 16, 17, 18. Very standard. Outward dots at 5, 7, 10 and 12. White dots on the side. Good. Graphtec nut. Setup on this, very good, by the way. The ubiquitous crown headstock, which I think is looking really tired now. I think it's about time Kala changed that. Yeah, there we are. Again, faced in more of the ebony. The Kala logo is a gold screen print. It's all right. The tuners are unbranded open gears, but they're good quality, a bit like the ones I looked at the other week. You can tell that from the way the metal is pressed. It's not cheap. It's not cheap tin. So they look very much like Grovers with plastic buttons. And you get a set of Ukulele strings. You get nothing else though, and I think in this day and age, with the sort of tide of stuff coming from China on Amazon that throw in the kitchen sink with their instruments, I wonder whether Carla really now needs to start saying, well, at least we'll give you a bag. Because you get nothing with Carla's. This is all, which is a bit of a shame. However, the price is about street price, between about 160, 170, which isn't too bad, considerably cheaper than the Ziricote model. It's upper low end, sort of into the mid ends. It's not a price that's going to scare a lot of people, not for something that looks like this. And like all Carla's, a brand I like, really well put together, really well built. The quality control is superb. It's nice and light. It's really well balanced in all directions, forward, back, and side to side. There's not much I don't like about it, really. Let's have a play of it. And to keep the people who think that I deliberately play them out of tune to make them sound bad, let's just do a quick tune-up. I hate having to do this, but, you know, people do make outlandish claims. This, incidentally, is a Strobe Tuner from Peterson. There's a review of this on the website. Extremely accurate, about 100 times more accurate than a Snark or something like that. So that's now completely in tune at the nut with a Strobe. And it's a surprising sound. Now, I say surprising. I expected it to sound darker because of the way it looks. But it's not solid ebony, it's a laminate. So it's kind of crisp, brighter sound than I thought, but very, very clear. The volume is excellent. This is a boomy instrument in a good way. That sustain's not bad either, and I can feel it vibrating up here, the whole instrument is. That's pretty. Yeah, it's a laminate tone. It's not bags of character, but 160 quid. Say it's a little bit too bright. No, I like it. It's jangly and bouncy. It's kind of not what I expect a tenor to sound like. The character is more lacking when you pick it. Perfectly pleasant. I like it, actually. It gets a good score. It sounds alright. It's not earth-shattering on the sound. It looks terrific. I'd prefer if it was gloss. I'd prefer the bridge and the fingerboard to be darker, but they're only minor aesthetic points. I'd certainly prefer the nut to be a bit wider, but plenty of you will be able to play it just fine. I find it a little bit uncomfortable, but, you know, very big hands. But the price, if you can pick one of these up for 160 quid, I think it's a real no-brainer, really. It's a really well-made instrument, bit of a head turner, great for club play because it's got good volume, and it sounds all right. The Carla, KA-EBY-T, striped ebony Indonesian Ebony tenor. It's a laminate. And another good one from Carla, really. Not really a surprise. They rarely fail. Okay, break next week because I think I'm away and then I'm back. So take care, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.